Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Last video of the day, and here we are. We're going to talk about Judge Brock's Biden administration from ending Title 42, because we all know about those thousands of illegal immigrants coming into our border and causing a major issue. And let's talk about it. Let's go in and get into the article. A federal judge on Friday blocked the Biden administration from ending Title 42, a Trump-era border policy, days before it was scheduled to lapse. U.S. District Judge Robert Summer Hayes of the Western District of Louisiana granted a request for a preliminary injunction made by the Attorneys General of over 20 states on Friday, according to Fox News. The Attorneys General sued the federal government over its plans to end Title 42, claiming the Biden administration had violated federal rules in killing the health policy. Title 42 is a health policy that has been in place since March 2020 and authorizes border control against agents to reject migrants at the border and turn them back without processing their asylum claims. The policy was used nearly 100,000 times in April alone to turn away migrants, turning it a record-setting month for migrant encounters at the U.S. southern border. Critics say that scrapping the health policy will lead to a flood of immigration that the administration is not equipped to handle. Department of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas has disputed questions of the federal government's readiness, but he has acknowledged that the department expects a jump in immigration after the rule is ended. This suit challenges an imminent man-made, self-inflicted calamity, the abrupt elimination of the only safety valve preventing this administration's disastrous border policies from devolving into an unmitigated catastrophe. The Attorney General lawsuit says. Summer Hayes ruled that the lawsuit has merit and blocked Title 42's ending while the lawsuit moves forward. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) announced in April that it planned to end the policy on May 23rd. The announcement received bipartisan pushback from Republicans and moderate Democrats who expressed concerns over the impact of ending the policy on immigration. I would agree into this part. Well, here's the one thing that we have, is that we do know that that specifically with the whole immigration thing, that things have gone completely out of hand. We do know that that baby formula has been going to illegal immigrants first, besides Americans. So due to this, is that we have a huge problem with immigration in terms of illegal immigration and a whole bunch of people coming into our border, and that's causing a lot of problems. In Texas, I may believe there has been a lot of rapes and stuff like that have happened, and in particular to the border being open. Things of that nature have gotten completely out of hand. More child trafficking happening, a lot more abuse, more dead. There's a lot of catastrophe that's happening because the border is open. What people don't seem to realize is when you have the border open, is that you lead to a lot of black market stuff, a lot of dangerous stuff, a lot of trafficking, both child trafficking and stuff like this. And it leads to this because it's not being blocked, it's not being negated. And this has spiked tremendously in the past couple of years because we have opened the border to illegal immigrants and people wanting to come to America for a better place. And here's the thing, is that this is also a theory and, of course, an allegation. So take my word with my salt, but this is my opinion. I believe that the Democrats are using the illegal immigrants and using these people to get votes for them because they cannot win by normal means. They give these promises to people of minorities or whatever, so that way they can get votes, so they can have their type of very communist rule and have control over the people. That is what I believe. I do not believe that these people really care for them, because we do know that Biden had them put in little legitimate cages to where they were compacted to a very small place where they contracted COVID. So we understand that the places that Biden has been putting these people have not been good. They have not been humanitarian. They have been very bad in the humanitarian part of this. And I would go even far to say is that what they're doing is directly evil. They're not helping America, and they're definitely not helping the illegals that are coming in the first place. I don't know how far the damages are going to go in terms of having all these illegals into our country. Hopefully, it's not as big as a problem, but as we know, there is such a huge problem. There's a whole bunch of a lot of dark and shady stuff happening that we don't know what's happening. I forgot his name, but there is a man that does. It might be Jose Ventura, which is his name. That he goes over the border and tells you exactly what's going on at the border and how bad it is. He has a documentary about the whole situation at the border and how serious it is. And things like this cannot be put on YouTube. Things like this cannot be put anywhere outside of the media, because why? Because YouTube will remove it. They will block it. They will do everything in their power to remove this type of information from coming out. This is part of the reason why I would love to have my own website, so that way I can be able to put this up and have very crucial information come from me to you guys, so that way it cannot get removed from YouTube. So these are the huge things that we have here, and I don't think this immigration thing is going to be very good for it all. All right. So now we have Title 42 has been an essential tool in combating the spread of COVID-19 and controlling the influx of migrants at our southern border. Senator Joe Manchin said in a statement, we are already facing an unprecedented increase in migrants this year, and that will only get worse if the administration ends the Title 42 policy. We are nowhere near prepared to deal with that influx. Until we have comprehensive bipartisan immigration reform that commits to securing our borders and providing the pathway to citizenship for qualified immigrants, Title 42 must stay in place. See, even the Democrats are going against this. A lot of Democrats were against a lot of the policies that Biden was putting in too. And again, this is a huge problem. And a lot of people that were going to say, like, oh, well, let's just have, allow all the immigrants come in, so all the problems, like, or, for instance, oh, it's like scars on their back, okay, yeah, but if they were not enter here illegally, we wouldn't have this problem. Illegal immigrants are illegal. We are not against immigrants coming in. We want them to come in. We do not care if they come in. However, if we have a massive influx of illegal immigrants coming in, it does not hurt. We can't vet these people. We can't vet if they're actual predators, if they're dangerous people. Like, we need to know this type of information. This is a part of the reason why we have a legal system. It's like we have a border for a reason. We have, so that way we can vet people that come into our country, so we know we get the best people for our country. We do not want predators. We do not want murderers. We do not want evil people coming into our country, because this is a huge problem for all of us involved. So I again, when we want borders, we want safety. We want safety for the American people, and also safety for them as well. Because, I mean, again, if they get caught, there's a good chance that they'll get sent back, or etc. Or worse, they'll probably end up killed for some unknown reason, right? So again, it's just a protection for, I think, everybody involved. I agree, this country is amazing, and everybody should be allowed to come here. But we need to have a standard, and we need to have borders to protect ourselves. And people going against this is actively going against the American people, and how and what we need to do is survive as a people. And we'll go directly to the statement here. Is that we will have that with the Joe Manchin is that the Title 42 must stay in place until we have major immigration reforms, which we did have these informs, by the way, with Trump, and there were more things coming along the way, but of course Biden came in and knocked all that out, so now we're back at pretty much ground zero. He will go, since we already read this part here, we're gonna this part right here, we're going to go directly to this part where it is kind of a bigger thing. In the fiscal year 2021, encounters with migrants reached an all-time high of 1.7 million people, which is 4 times higher than the 400,000 encounters reported the previous year. The United States is on pace to set a new record again this year. Through the first 5 months of FY22, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, reports that Customs and Border Control has experienced more than 838,000 migrant encounters. Earlier this week, Senator Manchin on the Centers of Disease Control Director Rachel Walensky to extend the Title 42 policy due to closing COVID-19 crisis across the globe and surging migrant encounters. And now we're also having a surge of smallpox, right? So this is even even a bigger problem. We're going to have smallpox people also coming in along with COVID. This is insanity. This is the reason why when people vote, they need to vote correctly and look at the back of the people. I understand that the media lies to you, and you are getting the wrong information. However, we need to understand that we have to vote correctly. And so far, the far left is actively ruining your lives and not helping you. And this, if we have these many people coming in, and there's a smallpox outbreak, they're coming in with smallpox and infecting our country. So again, another reason why to vet these people, and that, like what else can you really say? And there's another with here where we go with a general lawsuit, Title 42 complaint. We'll go here, and then all this stuff where we have the describe of immigration lawsuits here. The United States of America, the states of Arizona, Louisiana, and Missouri bring the civil action against the above listed defendants for dilatory and adjustment relief and alleges as follows. This suit challenges an imminent and man-made self-inflicted calamity, the abrupt implementation of the only safety valve preventing this administration's disastrous border policies from devolving into an unmitigated chaos and catastrophe. Specifically, this action challenges the Biden administration's revocation of Title 42 border control measures, which will, absent judicial belief, become effective May 23, 2022. Yeah, so again, the lawsuit's happening. The lawsuit should happen, and we need to protect our borders, and we need to prevent this from happening before it gets any worse. All right, so guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.